Wow, explosive news. It's not shocking, but it's pretty exhilarating today. A lot of people won't get it. Donald J. Trump on Twitter, brings up the most famous quote of American decolonization, the general of American decolonization, 1942. America changing the landscape of what was the colonial old world order forevermore. Now, Russia joined them too. Theirs was more at the end as they were hit hard by the Axis powers. They were hit the hardest, in fact. But Russia came back. Russia came back in a big way. And USA and Russia, post the actions of General Patton, who started it all, to the gripes and belly aching of Britain and France, who France was no more, literally no more. And folks, I go into this tremendous detail. It's Donald J. Trump, President of the United States. I should have turned off notifications. Who hammers it home today. Huge, massive, for those who read history, those who know American history. This is unprecedented by a living president. More, Kelly Craft, which is also in these slides. We're going to get into that. She is a friend of mine, former USA UNSC P5 ambassador of USA on the world stage. Her, who was also USA Canada ambassador before that. Now, she served under Donald J. Trump in the first term, still has her military clearance, still there, goes into American lives, how much they're worth. Just one American life. And if you think this isn't relevant to everything I share, oh, it most certainly is. UK and France put on notice today. Kelly Craft, who says very little these days, comes out saying one American life was worth all that, and Hamas. And it's important for Canadians to understand equality of the person and how valuable every American life is in equality of the person. We're going to get to it. We're going to talk about slavery into the 1930s. Yeah, Spain and France. We're going to get to it. Old world order stuff that the USA put their foot down and took those assets back. We're going to get into why this statement, may God have mercy upon my enemies, because I certainly don't. General Patton, one of the most hugest quotes ever in U.S. military service from World War II onward. And for Donald Trump to say that, he's giving a warning to all the colonials that we're coming aggressively, heavily, and we're going to do this. And there's nothing you can do about it. But we're going to get into that, and I'm going to go through it. So this is Donald J. Trump on Twitter, and of course, Truth Social shares it, but there's Donald J. Trump 2 hours ago. May God have mercy upon my enemies, because I won't. General George S. Patton. I'm going to go through why this is an amazing quote, the history. So I want you all to understand something. You know, Donald J. Trump just did a commemoration for the importance of African Americans. That celebration, he did a big speech there. He was welcome there. Well, contrary to what people know, the last slaving colony was actually Morocco. It didn't end till 1930. Those folks, sadly, part of a 7th century onward slave expose by all of the kingdoms of the ancient world. This area of northern Africa was hit absolutely the hardest and held the very longest. This is Spanish and the French and this is all of 1912 up to 1930. Okay? Slaves. Full-on slavery by both the Spanish and French. Whoops. I went backwards. Sorry. So there's the years from 1912 to 1956. Morocco was a French protectorate where slavery ran rampant till 1930. Of course, what happened with the Germans in fighting for their assets too. In 1943, President Roosevelt met with King Mohammed V to assure him that the United States supported Morocco's independence from France. In 1956, Morocco and France signed a joint declaration in Paris to replace the Treaty of Fez. Why? Because France was destroyed and occupied completely by Germany. And we're going to get into a minute, but after Morocco gained independence, the United States resumed normal diplomatic relations with the country because they would have none of it from France or any French regimes. No way. And as I've always told people, the United States of America, along with the Soviet Union, but led much by the United States, decolonized 80 countries in the world that didn't even exist. They weren't even countries. There were only 52 countries when the UN was formed. After USA and Russia with the P5, but they had to obey. There was treaties signed with the former Soviet Union, current Russian Federation, and the United States of America by both France and UK and others who were defeated, the Axis, but even UK and France who wouldn't get any American or Russian support until they signed those two historical treaties. Well, President Trump has gone right back to day one, holding France and the UK to the fire. He's saying, listen, I don't care about Joe Biden's Make America subjects again. We're coming after you, the remaining colonizers. We'll get to that statement, that bold statement he makes today in a moment. So the United States recognized Morocco's independence in 1956 after Morocco gained freedom from France, who held them in slavery, bondage, and chains till 1930. Yes, fact. In 1786, Morocco signed a treaty of peace and friendship with the United States. From 1912 to 1956, Morocco was a French protectorate, an asset taken from Germany and placed to France. In 1943, President Roosevelt met with King Mohammed, as I went through, and I'll tell you why that was. And they replaced the Treaty of Fez in 1956. That was the French Empire. And we've got all this. Also, United States, with good relations with Morocco, have a free trade agreement. They've been friends for a long time because if it wasn't for the United States of America and a famous general, they would likely still be in bondage or at least servitude as First Peoples are in Canada under the Indian Act, things like Palestine. This is all over the world. It's not just those two countries, but Canada is the first design. Even Morocco came after, off of Canada's design. Ended in 1956 by the United States of America in conjunction with the Soviet Union, where France and UK had to capitulate. China, of course, was in penmanship with the United States and Soviet Union. Oh, shoot. Looks like I missed a slide. Or maybe I got more. We'll see. Hold on. No. Oh, yeah. Okay. So there's Kelly. After 505 days in Hamas captivity, the wait is over. Tal Shaham's family welcome Tal back home. Not one American left behind. Not one American. Now, she was our ambassador to Canada from the United States, and then she became the ambassador on the world stage, United Nations Security Council USA. This is for all of you Canadians, and what I posted. My friend Kelly wants to let you know that not one American left behind no matter what. America values all Americans, every single life, no matter what. They never give up. They never quit. They never surrender for their people. You will not find this the same for the country of Canada, for any and all of you. For any and all of you. Unless you're a first-class citizen, you don't count. Good luck. You better hope that you're with some captured Americans, because if you're not, you're likely to rot the rest of your life wherever you're at, or you'll be dead. That's a fact. And Kelly, after my post, pumps out this, a beautiful thing, just to show everybody, America never quits, never surrenders. They're always there for their Americans. This is what I wanted. United Nations Security Council. This is Morocco. Complete history, membership of the principal organs, and everything. They have everything here. You can look at the sanction committees done against France when it was under French rule, what USA did, all the programs of work, everything the United Nations Security Council did with them. And then post 56, this goes into all of that. Look, they've even become a non-permanent member of the Security Council. Look, they've replaced Canada. Look, they were the ones who replaced Canada in 2013. Canada isn't even on the United Nations Security Council anymore. They've been removed entirely from one of the founding members to now a loser. And it didn't matter Democrat or Republican. It's very important for Canadians to understand just where you are in the world and what USA thinks of your government. Not very highly at all. Maybe not public about it, but now very, very public. I encourage everyone to read all of these years, everything that led up to their transition in 64 and then onward into massive success, and everything about all African states, regional groups, everything the United States of America has done for making independent countries of Africa, all off of all the colonial empires, like Morocco taken away from France. And there's still more to do. So, I don't know what happened here. I'm going backwards, that's why. No, I don't know. I left those slides off. I made a mistake here, but anyhow, we're going to get into Patton. So, Patton's famous quote comes from his military operations all through World War II, specifically in Northern Africa in 1942. He pushed against all the bellyaching and blubbering of the French Empire, and of course the British Empire. The French would fall after that, but it was Patton who ignored them all, pushed his tank divisions through, and took Morocco. He's even got an award for the mightiest of decolonizing generals for the country of Morocco that it would become, freeing all the slaves who were still in bondage, maybe not full-on bondage, but absolutely suppressed by wealthy French and Spanish families, still in much control. Obviously, the French had the northern half, Spanish had the southern, but it was absolutely Patton who ignored all of the colonials and took it all and then decolonized Morocco. Took it from the French, removing the rest of the Spanish. And you know what? All those people were free, and he got an award from the Moroccan people, and then would go on to be the Moroccan government. And then finally, right, within 13 years after Patton, Morocco would see freedom for the first time in so many centuries, done by the United States of America. This is especially big when we deal with Canada under its French and British crowns. This is Donald J. Trump's statement that my enemies, he's speaking to Starmer, he's speaking to Macron, he's speaking to Justin Trudeau. And if you haven't figured out Kelly Craft's post on just how valuable and the never quit, never surrender mentality of Americans over one American life, no matter what, how important that is, and not going to end till they're all home. If it was a Canadian, they would have been dead a long time ago, or would still be there, and your Canadian government would be like, everything's okay, don't worry about it, don't worry about it. We've talked to them, they're in great spirits. Meanwhile, starving, beaten, sexually assaulted, brutalized beyond all measure, which is the story of every captive that's been fortunate enough to find freedom in Canada, which is very few and far between. And usually it's because of something like the United States, who has captives too. Outside of all of that, Canadians are finished. This is real history. These are real bold statements by the President of the United States to your Prime Minister and the two crowns that they hold, that all the premiers hold. It's a statement to Canadians. You will learn soon enough American history, American value, inequality of the American versus your assigned equity of the subject or savage, and how they're coming. They're coming, and decolonization is going to happen. The 51st state is going to happen. And it's either you apply, or they will drown you all out economically with massive economic force. Like every report tells you in the United Nations Security Council, sanctions, trade embargoes. Canada, you're not special. You're not getting away from this. This is happening. And you keep ignoring it. Sanctions starting here in another week. Massive ones for sure after that. Already signed, sealed, certified. A month after that, many more that are going to ruin our industries. And these are not just little things in Canada that, oh, well, in a couple of years when Donald J. Trump's gone, it'll be fixed. No, you need to see a president who subscribes to your beliefs, who can overwhelm the people of America, who are going to get used to the extra revenue outside of themselves, coming from foreign sources, from evil sources. If you didn't watch the hockey game, Americans booed you for the first time in the last hockey game. Canada, USA. People say, oh, well, that's just hockey. No, this is more than that on both sides of it. It's starting to get ugly. And I asked Americans who are very loyal to statehood, be honest with me, because I already know the answer to this. How does the average American feel about the average Canadian seeing what's going on right now? They said, well, yeah, I believe this, but I know my compatriots in America, my compatriots that aren't really for statehood or haven't looked into it, when they look at everything, they don't want Canada. They are angry with Canada and are going, this is how you view life? This is how you see us? This is what you think about us? Screw you. We champion Donald Trump, and we hope he smashes you. And Donald J. Trump is still in the face of all that saying, we cherish the 51st state. We know a lot of Canadians want it. Folks, it's going to be up to all of you. These bold statements are getting stronger with historical accuracy, with traceable history that only shows you one thing, real decolonization. It even brought Kelly Knight Craft forward, who is a friend of mine. I'm lucky she follows me on Twitter. Emailed her in that position many, many years, as I do all the UNSC P5. And this is a bold statement. She's saying, yeah, American life matters, even if it's just one American. There is no dealing for, oh, well, we'll take half, or the Canadian way of doing things. That's dehumanizations. That's some kind of assigned equity of the person. And that's not America. And America is disgusted by your politicians and that philosophy. And you're going to get dealt the blow for it. You're going to take the patent beating for it. You're going to be forcibly decolonized. And that means sanctions and trade embargoes, historically by the United Nations Security Council, led by none other than the United States of America, who did it first. You don't want to be the United States of America's enemy, but your politicians are goading you into it. They're manipulating you into it. Don't be that person. Join Canada, the 51st state. If you still don't see it yet, these sanctions, these coming trade embargoes will convince you, because it will financially impact you. That's my video. Credible, real, verifiable. Share, share, share. Get it out there. Thank you. Bye now.